cases we're not.
There, most of them, there's no change. Like we did zone 1A and zone 1B, and there's no up on any of them.
Yeah, and Jay's looked at each one individually.
And these are all the ones that have new meters that are
These are
installed.
brand new meters, yeah. Everything that.
Everything on this small meter thing is
When I look at the ones
replaced
that
with new meters.
Correct,
failed, because I went to those, I didn't really go to the ones that didn't fail.
because they're the same, they haven't been replaced.
I mean, you're gonna find one or two, but the majority of them, they're the same. The readings are the same.
Right.
There's no more usage on those meters,
Now, and I want to know why.
but there's not.
I just want to know why. And I think they can explain it to us. I may not be looking at it right. And
Okay.
so we're gonna have that call. So if anybody, as you look at this information and you have questions, shoot them over and we'll add them to the list. I've got 6 or 7, I'm sure you'll have at least that many. And if they're individual accounts, you know,
So does it say anywhere here which ones that you've already looked, have you looked at all the failed ones?
we haven't. This was done, what time frame did we do this?
It was last quarter, the beginning of the last quarter, so.
So we've only had 90 days worth of readings on zone 1A and zone 1B. And you can tell that just by the first 2 letters of the account number. The others haven't been in a whole quarter yet, so
Okay, they're coming now, so now we're doing 2, then we're gonna do 3, so
next few weeks we'll have them all.
yeah.
Okay.
That's-
We'll have them
You'll
all.
have a better idea
You have a
then.
better
We'll
idea.
have a much better idea.
Well, we're
I
not gonna
would-
rush it.
No,
Anyway.
now the other thing that I want to tell you is when you look at this, the cash flows, they're basing that on, we're gonna do 100% replacement for both, they did one for Census and they did one for Neptune, the 2 meters we're considering. And so they did that based on the replacement of everything for both. We have a significant investment in Census. And we've been replacing meters as they've been failing. So Jane did a report of all the meters that are less than 5 years old, and there's about 1,000 meters in there that we don't have to replace. That knocks their costs down. They've also put $20,000 to build the Munis are a billing system. To build the interface between the meter company and the billing system that exists. So we already paid that $20,000. So these numbers, the costs, project costs aren't real. So I have Census meters actually giving me a real price for what it would cost just to replace their meters. And I think instead of a $3.7 million project, we're down to about a $2.4, $2.5 million project. And that will sway the balance on which meter we select.
Right.
And it's nothing against, Neptune is a great meter, but if we can save, they're making it look as if Neptune is cheaper than Census, but they're ignoring our current investment.
Yeah, your current installation.
Well, what is the installation, okay, so that would be that. And then what is a Munis cost? What is that?
Well, Munis is our billing software system.
Oh, okay.
And then there's a meter software system. So you read the meters using either Neptune's software system or Census's software system. And then you have to build like a zipper kind of an interface to match up how the billing system looks at that data and how the meter reading system, and you have to marry them up so that there's a seamless transition to go over. We've already done that because we're doing Census and it's already there.
Okay, so that would be, that's,
We're saving,
okay.
You'll send out a
I will.
update of this.
Up that. I felt, when I heard you say that last, I was like, you're right, I haven't shown you a lot of data. And you really, I shouldn't be interpreting it, you should have a right to look at that data yourself.
Okay.
So based upon this, we're supposed to get a $3 million increase for profit, okay, for 20 years.
Yeah, and
I don't see it.
not yet, I don't see it. And I wanna, this is the only project that we're requiring the project to pay for itself. But still, that's their promise to us. And I just don't know how they went from this
To
to this.
Well, that's what they have to explain to you.
And they do, and they will.
And they'll come in and sit down with us too, I mean.
Yes, they will.
They were here last month.
Well, that was the guys from Census from here.
Oh, okay.
They were Census sales guys.
Oh, okay.
And they wanted to make sure that, we wanted to
So hopefully you'll be
We weren't bolting on them, right?
You'll be
What?
ready for this.
Yeah, no, and I told the one gentleman, I saw them all out in Vegas, I told him, no, we don't even, I'm not even confident in these numbers I got, I have a lot of questions. And if Johnson Controls comes in, would you prefer that in the context of a meeting? Or would you rather have them do it outside a meeting?
Probably outside.
Outside.
I would agree with you, I just wanted to make
Yeah,
sure.
because we'll be,
Yeah.
so involved with comments back and forth and questions.
Right, that's fine.
Take,
The whole meeting,
take more than a whole
Suck it
meeting
all up.
probably,
I would
you know.
agree with you, I would agree with you, so.
okay.
So you're looking for comments by a certain date?
No, I mean, if you could look it over, whatever, even if I send them my questions and Jane's
Right, you can always
questions,
send them.
I'll always send them additional
Yeah.
questions.
Okay. And
I'm
you'll,
only,
you'll send us the questions you're sending.
I will email them to everybody.
Okay,
The only reason that I'm doing that just to facilitate the phone call. I
right.
want it to be prepared,
No, I mean, yes, we want it to be productive, otherwise it's a waste of time.
they got it.
They haven't done any research about,
Right,
on your
exactly.
questions.
Exactly. Well, I promised you we would do that, so.
Okay.
Anyway. It's a lot of information, it's hard to make sense out of it.
Correspondence.
I have nothing.
Okay. Superintendent's report. I had two corrections.
Okay, did I forget to take June?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think
That's right, these are the correct figures for June, I
that
just didn't
should-
change them,
okay.
that's my mistake.
Okay.
Yep.
And then
I thought it
for rainfall. I mean, I can read,
was June, that should be June,
that should be June too.
so,
Well, no, that's not. It said rainfall for April was almost an inch above average.
this
but-
should have been deleted, this whole comment should have been deleted.
Right, so this whole thing doesn't apply.
That was I wrote that 2 months ago, we just-
Right, so this,
no, that doesn't apply this month.
right.
Sorry, Mike, and I will take that out, we'll amend that before we file.
So June, we were actually 2 inches below.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
mean, in May, we were 1.5 inches almost.
But the year-to-date is pretty close, and we're only down 1.5 feet, 1.2 feet.
Yeah, and I guess my next question is how are we doing since
I don't,
2 weeks?
I don't know.
Since end of June?
but I'm guessing the flows have been really high. We're flowing 4.6 a day in this heat wave. To the point
And we
where,
haven't got any rain
No.
for
and,
a while.
yeah, because people are water in and they're doing all this, and it is what it is, but I don't know what the
I
other
mean,
is.
we're obviously not in any
Not yet.
drought moving things at this
Oh,
point,
you're not?
just curious, because
No, we're having
no,
trouble.
we're 3 inches below average,
We've called for,
or 2 inches below average today
right,
for half a year.
we've called for a flow increase 3 days since last Thursday, 3 times. That's unusual that we would do that, but the flows leaving Bitty Water are exceeding the flows coming in from the filter plant by a couple of 100,000 a day. And so I think today we're probably, we got 4.6 going through the plant today, and we're flowing 4.4 into the city. So we're probably gaining, so Bitty Water should start to come up.
Okay.
Because we're having, you know, we can notice that in the distribution system, you can notice the pressure is a little off. And so Ryan's been dealing with that, and he's been talking to, we kind of went through that with him.
And on the meters, when we have frozen meters,
Yeah,
they're frozen,
they were frozen in the winter, and we're just finding them.
finding out because of doing
They-
meter readings and stuff? or-
Vacant buildings, Jane?
Yeah, you know, people are buying things and so they're going in and that's what's happening, new owners. And so you have these vacant buildings and they go in and they want water and they're discovering that these things are frozen, it happens.
Okay, when they're frozen though, or there's not water pouring out of them? or-
No,
Not in this case, but there could be,
yeah,
but there's not.
I mean, my idea of a frozen meter in the wintertime is that it's frozen up and,
what they notice is when they go in, they turn the water on and then the water comes spewing
Spewing
out,
out,
then they shut it
shut it
off.
off.
and they call us out.
They need a new meter?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's how it happens.
How many do you have, do you think? You don't know, do you?
No, no,
Yeah.
I mean,
can see
You
here.
can see the running tally.
I saw
I mean,
that.
January there was 25, you know, here it is in June, and May and June, and we're still
You'll
finding.
find them in August and
We're
September.
still finding.
One and two, and it's the property transfers or vacant properties or.
So if it's a property, so in other words, the building hasn't been habitated, and it's transferred ownership, and they get in there,
Right,
and they find out the meter's frozen.
right, and, well, they don't think it just leaks, and it's obviously our problem, so we get called, and it's a frozen meter, so. In the older meters, there's a telltale way, I mean, the bottom plate usually cracks, but in the newer,
And that's no cost to the resident.
yes, it is.
Oh,
You have to replace the
Oh, yes.
meter.
Okay.
Yes, yes. It's the property owner's responsibility to keep that meter from freezing.
Okay.
And if they didn't, in January, those 25,
So you'll charge them
you
the
charge them
appropriate rates.
250,
200 for 5 days.
200,
And
yeah.
how about a stop meter?
We
Stop
don't-
meters,
we don't
we
charge.
don't
We don't charge for that, okay.
That's like our meter broke,
Okay,
Yeah.
that's on us.
okay.
But if you let your meter freeze, that's on
It's
you,
on you.
that's on you.
And so the question is due diligence for the buyer when they're buying to check the meter.
Yeah, I would think that,
I don't
if you have a
know.
property inspector, maybe they turn on the water?
Well, they do, I mean.
They might not go down and see if the meters leak, I don't know.
Well, they do turn on the water, they
Right.
check all that, they check whether the dishwasher's working, all that.
They should, yeah.
But if the building's vacant and you have an inspection, I mean, hopefully he'll turn
If you
on
have an
some.
inspection.
All the utilities get turned on,
Yeah.
we turn them all off, by.
But I think property inspection reports now are also including service materials, so they're becoming more attuned. I don't think anybody ever thought anything about the water service.
Yeah,
I mean, they looked at the roof, they looked at the furnace, now they're looking at, is there a lead service here, is there not, is it, so there's an awareness, it's coming,
mhm.
it's coming. And some of these properties are sold as is.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's.
So I mean, some of them are
Right.
such in such disrepair that they're sold as is and,
Yeah, one just happened and people didn't realize what they were buying.
Mhm.
And it's,
they had quite a water bill.
Mm.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's just,
just.
it happens unfortunately.
Well,
No,
generally, if there's
yes.
but if there's a closing, they normally call for a meter
Not all
reading.
the time,
Not all the
Time, okay, so I mean, that's part of
Yeah,
your attorney calling for a water meter reading and finding out what the thing is, and at the
yes.
closing saying, okay, well, there's a $3,000
Yes.
water bill now,
And
take that off the,
to add to
contract.
that though, they have to do more than just call and ask. They have to put the request in writing to do a final reading.
Yeah.
'Cause we got bit by that, we didn't get bit, but that happened, it was unfortunate once before. The attorney or somebody called in here wanting outstanding charges, they were given those charges. They never requested a final reading. There's a difference between asking, what's the outstanding charges? I mean, Jane or Kevin just look it up and they give them the charges. A final reading is something different. And so this attorney, I mean.
yeah,
it
you
was-
could have been given us stuff from 2 months ago and it's
Exactly.
not
Yeah.
recent.
And there was an ongoing leak, and they had this huge bill. And, I mean, this happened a couple times. So now, every attorney has to put it in writing, the request. They have to fax it or email it, and then we have our document that it was asked. And we don't do a final reading unless we get that,
That's right.
because,
Okay, so, approve the superintendent's report with
with those modifications.
modifications?
Yeah.
Do we need a motion for that?
Yeah, I'll make
Okay,
that
make a
motion.
motion. Second?
I'll second it.
Okay, those in favor? Opposed? Okay, carried. Executive session?
Yep,
Okay. Motion to go into executive session?
Motion.
Okay.
and these
Those in
are
favor?
personnel issues, two quick personnel issues, I think.
Okay.
Good evening. Okay.